9/11 or even.
Can you see by the dawn's early light, which so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we walked, was so gallantly streamed.
The Vietnam era, and actually in Vietnam, 20% of the lieutenants were killed by their own men.
Shit.
Fragged.
What, friendly
fragmentation
fire?
grades.
Oh.
No, they had to. Because these guys, the way the government, it was all fucked up, right? So they send these 90-day wonders in to take over a unit that's been in the field for 6 months, fighting the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese army. And these guys were doing it by the book, and they didn't understand. And they'd send the guys out to get killed. They're like, can't walk down a trail. It's all booby trap. You got to go through the woods, right? On either side. It takes forever. And the lieutenant goes, no, you got to get down the trail. And they go, no. And they go, and my landlord, who was a sergeant in Hoi An in Vietnam, he told me a story where they got a new lieutenant, and he was right from Germany, fresh, 90-day wonder, as they call him. And he was a Southern boy, my guy. And they had a black guy in his unit. My landlord was a sergeant. And this guy was one of the best guys in combat ever. And he'd already done 6 months in combat, right? They used to do 1-year tours. So the Southern asshole decided he had to bust this black guy's balls, because he was a racist. And then my landlord told me, and he goes, my landlord's Scottish like me, and he goes it was stupid. He kept putting them up on a report and back at the base or whatever. And sure enough, they're out on patrol, and a fragmentation grenade landed in this guy's lap. And my landlord was sad about it, but he goes, the guy was fucking stupid.
So, I mean, you can't fix stupid. War stories, it's so goddamn crazy. War stories with seasoned veterans on the trail dealing with an asshole sergeant that you may have to save his ass or he may have to save yours. That's a bitch to deal with. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because it's a different type of argument. It's that we're not arguing back here what we call at the bar. We're arguing, and tomorrow we got to go on this battlefield, and I got to treat you like I love you because we got to have that trust with each other.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I only had 2 engagements. Whereas in I had to fire my weapon and then I had to defend my compound. And that was enough for me to say, God damn. You know, so, and that was at Bob Dagger, and it was at Professor
Say what?
Bob Spiker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Bob Dagger, they blew up the damn pipeline that ran into the damn Tigris River and fucking flooded the damn whole goddamn Tigris River. And that was the craziest damn thing ever, because I was force comp, so we was a retrans site. So retrans is basically when a unit goes out, right? They can only go a certain distance before they lose contact with the main base. Okay? So every 10 or 15 clicks, you put a fob out there. That fob set up antennas, so now they can go another 20 damn kilometers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just keep on setting up till they get the area of operation, the AO set up. Now they got a little area that they can control. They got communications. The damn systems is working. You know where all the soldiers is at. Blah, blah, blah. If you blow up one of those, or if you shut the system down, that whole area becomes a blackout area. Because unless they are retransmitting, unless they have a backdoor words in, if this goes down, now you're retransmitting from the next closest one. But most of the time, resources got cut by the time we got to 2008. Now your ass is back on the stretch thin, but everybody else got money, you know. So that's how Parker went down. But that's what we did. We ran retrans sites. And so they were fun because for us, we was like, well, we're the least, you know, seen. But I didn't think about this shit. We're the most seen. Because motherfuckers know we're there. They know that when you see that little damn tower go up, that motherfucker is in contact with thousands of motherfuckers at all goddamn time. And they all come to his base to get the new encryptions. They all come in for R&R. You know, that's their little break spot. That's their little hub. When they take breaks, they rest breaks, they come in there, hang out at the fire for a little bit, going about the business. I'm usually in the office just doing all the damn paperwork, getting all the systems back up and running, making sure they have the right encryption, and then making sure that when they leave, I can see them on the BFTs, the Bluefest BFTs, Bluefest Bluetooth trackers. It's like a tracker.
Yeah.
It tracks every vehicle and tracks every soldier. You know, so once they line them up, every damn thing is checked. They call back to us, we release them to the damn gate. Then the gate calls back to us. Then we release them again, and then we do radio checks with them every hour. You know, just to see if there's any problems with the signals and shit.
Yeah, and this is something that the U.S. has done from the whole 20th century. It's those tactics, and that tactics. I remember when I got the book about the Chosin Reservoir, when they get hit by the Chinese, but because the Marines had their tactics, the foxholes, you know, when they get overrun, they would know how to retreat and back up, and they stayed to the thing, and they listened to their sergeants and the lieutenants, and
it's a complex. War is a complex thing when you incorporate all the evolutionary styles of war tactics.
Yeah,
you know, guerrilla warfare. You have royal, whereas then they get into a straight line and they just march right to their fucking death. It's all about numbers, right?
That was
so.
wild.
That right there is like China. What China did was they looked at that massive amount of numbers and they said, we're going to build a royal army to be elite. That's why they have the largest army on earth. Okay. They are a nation that would say the only country that can really give them a fight is the United States, right? So, but China is the only country that has hydrogen bombs.
Russia does too.
No, I don't think Russia has hydrogen bombs.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
No, but in Korea, now the one thing about Korea, and I read half of Halberstam's book, The Coldest Winter, but he skipped the Chosin Reservoir. So my little brother we're both history guys, right? One in Vietnam. But I read his book about the Chosin Reservoir with Oliver P. Smith, the Marine general, who I think is one of the best generals we ever had, but because he had to do insubordination and do a retreat. But no, he was okayed for the retreat. But the guy over him had no business. Ned Almond, General Ned Almond, he was chief of staff of MacArthur, who shouldn't have been running the Marine Army. Anyways, and Smith knew what was going on, right? And so when the Chinese general infiltrated 300,000 guys between us on the east and the west, and because Willoughby, who was MacArthur's intelligence guy, was just a yes man. He wouldn't tell MacArthur anything he didn't want to hear. And but I wish I remember. I don't have the book anymore. The name of the Chinese general who infiltrated 300,000 men between our Marine Army on the east.
Look it up on your phone. You can look it up right now.
Because that Chinese general wanted no part of it. He thought it was the stupidest thing in the world because he was just going to lose men for no reason. You know.
Just open up your phone, push that button right there, and it's him. Just speak your words into it.
What's that?
No, just say your question.
Oh, the question was the name of the Chinese general who infiltrated the men into the middle of Korea from the Yalu River down, and because he did everything he could to protect.
Can you see by the dawn's early light, which so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we walked was so gallantly streamed.
When he got the order that it was okay to retreat, a reporter said, "Are you retreating?"
His name is Peng
Zhuo.
Zhuo.
Yeah, that's the name. And that guy, he wanted no part of it. You know, but he was ordered to do it by Mao, And Mao only did it to consolidate power in China because Mao wasn't the supreme leader at that point.
Okay.
And actually, the guy who won the Korean War, to me, was Stalin because he promised Mao, if you intervene in North Korea, we'll give you complete air support. He reneged. You know why? He wanted to put us and the Chinese in conflict so he could gain more power,
So
They did the same thing. They
if not gain power, disrupt both of the economies long enough to let somebody take control.
Yeah. And you know what? The Chinese and the Russians did the same thing when the Vietnamese, the Viet Minh, beat the French in Vietnam. Is they basically threw them under the bus in Paris because
if anything,
they could have ended the war right there, and there would have never been an American war in Vietnam. In my opinion.
Vietnam protected itself because their people are used to all the damn bug bites and shit. And you want they buy this even when they get sick, they have a lower death rate. We died of a lot of fucked up shit, and then we poison all the damn soil with that Agent Orange bullshit. The motherfuckers got sick from that, came back all crazy and stuff, and that just fucked them all up.
Yeah.
The uncle, the great uncle, all the motherfuckers.
I got a lady friend, Saigon,
Uh,
and I'm walking down the street, and she's selling stuff, and I look at her, she looks up at me. The most beautiful woman's face I've ever seen in my life. Got a little floppy hat on, and I look at her legs, they're little sticks of gold. She's sitting on the ground. It's the Agent Orange genetic thing.
she's a genetic mutation of Agent Orange.
Yeah, and actually her legs were probably born going like this around her head. And somebody did a
Surgery
for a pelvis so they could at least be this way.
Yeah.
And she was like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And she caught my eye, and we just clicked, right? And I sat down next to her, and and she didn't speak English. I don't speak Vietnamese. And we would just connect, right? And at the time, she was only selling lottery tickets, and which I don't sell to foreigners, because Vietnamese are big gamblers. So I would stop by, and I'd bring her water, and I just would sit with her, and we just look at each other, and stuff like that. So I come back the next year, right? Thinking about because I came back to get my teeth done. And I'm walking down Coy Street, where she was. No, Leloy Street. And she's there. Now she has the basket like the girls that come to the cafes, all this stuff,
Just selling random things.
But when she caught my eye, because we never see each other again. I didn't know I'd be back. And we go, she's just like fucking wild, right? She goes, she had nothing. She goes, I need money. And I sit down with her. She got a basket of stuff like gum and all, stuff, maps and whatever. I just pull, and my brother's there. He doesn't understand how he has Asperger's, right? So he can't understand how I relate to these people, regular people. Yeah. And so I just pulled out a little pile of money. It was probably $20, he handed it to her. She gives me a pack of gum. I'm like going, and then because we weren't paying attention.
He'll take it.
We're just so happy to see each other. And she's just so amazing. And so then a woman comes by with a little girl, and my brother calls them the rice monsters, because they are monsters. Oh, the children of Vietnam, the parents love them so much. And I had loving parents, right? But I cry when I see how much the parents love their children. And I go, so the woman's with a little girl. So I give her the pack of gum. Oh, and they actually try and keep the kids away from sugar because they know it makes them hyper, But this girl unwrapped that gum so fast. And the mother's like, no. I go, no, it's okay, She made her give it back to me. I go, no. she can have this, because I can't eat because I can't eat sugar. But it was such a nice exchange sitting there with my friend, and that she's so alive and so vibrant, and she's an Agent Orange genetic victim, and that it really moved me very much.
A lot of people got fucked up by this shit, man.
That's okay. Oh yeah, no, I even went to a place on one of the tours to Macon. We went to a place where they have a, kind of a workhouse for people with those anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
In the Mekong, just doing these tours,
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand, if you were fighting there, you need to defoliate it.
Yeah.
You can't, in war, you can't sacrifice your own people.
And
that's what sucks about war.
So the Geneva Convention was established, and we are one of the few nations that still fully follow.
We started it, yeah.
The Geneva Conventions. A lot of countries that we go into, I've been afraid of the Geneva Conventions for a while, because at some point in time we need to know when to abandon certain portions of it in order to save military life.
Yes.
One of my big pet peeves is, airborne drops, right? Under Geneva Conventions, soldiers are not allowed to shoot downward at their enemy, or shoot outward for fear of shooting somebody else. And I believe that if they was dropping down on our cities and towns, they wouldn't be following that. And I know our convention says we gotta wait for them to get on the ground. I guarantee you, if they invade this nation, we're shooting up at them. And if we're shooting up at them, they're gonna be shooting down at us.
Yeah.
So why would we not, if another world war comes out, that part of it, for the sake of, I understand what they're saying, don't shoot down at your soldiers. That's the part, that's the reasons why. But we should be dropping down. It could do a lot of damage, but if you got a shot, take it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I understand. And Geneva Conventions are written after World War II. But not everybody that wrote those understood war.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't there. And
there's a lot of shit that's in it that I support. The problem is I don't want us to look like an army of the past that still follows that dictatorship when the sum of military styles and movements has evolved to tactical movements that we don't follow because it's an honor.
Yeah.
Is it an honor thing? There is no honor in war.
I know. But I got an argument with my brother, and
do you want to hear a stupid
when the Abu Ghraib stuff was going on or whatever, and it broke my heart to hear on our news all these armchair warriors saying, "Oh, well, some torture or stress positions on torture," and I'm like, and actually, Brian Buckley here, he's a veteran of the first Gulf War, and I was hanging out with him in Scituate.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, right?
I'm just showing the guys.
Oh,
isn't that a beautiful pork chop?
It is.
That's Michael's pork chop.
It's my pork chop. And at the time, I didn't know Brian that well, right? So while we're talking, and he wasn't
lemongrass and garlic marinade,
but I could see his phone, and you could see he was researching it, and he really.
Have you ever watched
against torture,
Spaceballs?
Right? He goes, we're supposed.
They're filming the second one right now.
And so my little brother in Vietnam, he has the idea.
They're filming. No, Mel Brooks Spider-Man. 99 years old. Oh, do you remember? Okay, you remember? Do you remember Spaceballs?
I understand where he's coming from because
We had to sit down and have a debate
Twice.
about that, and you give me.
You remember about merchandising?
Of your honest opinion, and then you would have to sit through a 5-minute rebuttal. That would be torture because the conversation may not agree or may disagree. Buddy, how you doing?
but I understand because I've spent a lot of time with non-vets. I had to do torture on the tactical end, try to find out how many guys in this unit, where are they? Don't ask no questions. Come back with the answer. And
Are you wearing a scarf as a belt?
No, I'm just wearing it as a design. That's like it because it just hangs off the
so my little brother.
Good night, guys.
Oh, good night, Alan. And thank you for my pork chop.
Oh, yeah.
In time. So I'll do this quick, Tim. So when we were in Cambodia, see, he doesn't know because he learned about all this shit in college. I learned it from the genocide in Cambodia from Cambodians that escaped here, right? Because you know me, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this my whole life. And so I knew about the Khmer Rouge, what's going on. So my brother wanted to bring me to the killing fields outside Phnom Penh, the capital. I didn't need to go, because I know what happened. I talked to survivors, but I went. I'm glad I did.
What they say?
Well, the Cambodians, is it Buddhists? They do it with such sensitivity, the way they memorialize it, right?
Yeah.
And they're not pointing fingers because they're living. The survivors in Cambodia are living with the perpetrators.
Yeah,
With
what?
the perpetrators.
Get the fuck out of here, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Side by side.
Explain.
The only guy who could explain it would be Nelson Mandela.
Okay. What happened? I mean, what's your interpretation?
Let me just skip down and we'll circle back, right?
Okay.
So he took me to the torture prison. It's a high school that the Khmer Rouge tortured people at, right?
Yeah.
And they handled that very sensitively. And actually, most of the people they tortured were their own Khmer Rouge people because when they saw the genocide,
staging a coup?
No, they saw the genocide, and their cadres were like, "We can't do this anymore. We can't hack our relatives to death."
But why were they doing it?
Because they were indoctrinated.
They was indoctrinated to kill their own people?
Yes. It was sick. The Khmer Rouge was sick, okay? They had this, they were worse than communists. They had this, communist utopia. If you kill everybody who speaks a foreign language.
Then you wash them out.
Yeah. So
they was trying to kill the whole race.
No, but what happened was the people, their own people, the cadres, were like, no, we can't do this anymore. So then they attacked them, and they brought them to this school, and they tortured them, because they were disloyal. And so I went there, and they handled that very sensitively. They showed the rooms with the mattress, the beds with raw springs that they handcuff people to. But then they had the pictures of the people in eight, black and white photographs of the victims. And then we go down below, and they saw where they waterboarded everybody in the courtyard, And I sat there with a cigarette, and I puked my guts out. Because they did it in such sensitivity that you felt what went on here. And so when my brother, he listens to Fox News.
Yeah, they water it down because they know the population is down.
So he goes oh, well, they'll do this to us. And I go, so I said to him, well, Chris, do you think that that our intelligence officers being trained at West Point should have a field trip to this place in Cambodia so they can learn how to do it right, how to really torture people, how to interrogate people. You can go there, and he said nothing. That shut him right up. You know, because it's like what Brian said. Stephen, he goes, "We're supposed to be the good guys." You know, every regime that tortured people lost.
Yeah.
They lose.
He's like, okay,
You need to see the fucking tracks.
And like I say, I understand the tactical battlefield.
It's the fear of not having that outside and the lengths you're willing to go to get it, and that is why you have soldiers that they go so deep they're trained to even in death tell a lie.
Yeah,
sure,
You know, so you'll never really know whether or not that is the truth until you go, and then that's it. But when the soldier has to understand that in that job, you are literally signing your life away.
yes,
That is a reality that you must understand that your opinion about what the fucking politicians and their president is talking about, whether they nitpicking with some damn body or not, you know, at the end of the day, if they go to war with us, we got to fight. There is at the raw core of it,
Yeah.
you know. And so these generals, they signed up to rise up to the challenge, to be able to sit at a round table, to be somewhat kind of a voice, to keep that man from not doing that, because they know that he is the representation of the nation. So his words, in theory, represent all of us, whether we agree with them or not. They don't look at it like that. You see how we talk about Russia? And all of Russia is not, they don't give a fuck two ways about that shit. You see what I'm saying?
I know, because my brother's wife's from Russia.
Yeah, they don't care.
She drinks Putin's
I mean,
Kool-Aid.
they acknowledge it because they are from there. But a
'Cause
lot
they're
of
Russian,
that shit,
yeah.
but a lot of that shit, they like, listen, I stay out of it because I know my country. Period.
Well, let me tell you one example. In this, to cap off the Abu Ghraib kind of that period, and a guy who had been an intelligence officer there, and he was pro-torture, right? And his justification was that they had a guy, they were rounding up people in Baghdad, you know. The guy was ratting people out, and our forces were rounding them up and torturing them. And so they found out that one of these guys that he the phone, yeah. So by torturing him, they found out he was innocent. But he had been ratted out by one of our informants. So that how they realized that our informant was on the other side. So his justification was, it was good that we tortured this innocent man, this innocent Iraqi, because that's how it led us to find out that our informant was a snake. And I'm like, yeah, but what about the innocent guy? You know,
It's the trauma of the new. So now it's like our military. We have plenty of that byproduct floating around the damn world, and it's a byproduct that you may have to deal with because you know that person is not walking like the rest of the human being. They're walking, always analyzing, always wondering, like it me included, like wondering who is who. You look for familiar faces, even if it's some of the faces that treated you bad. Let me tell you something about knowing your enemies. sometimes it's safer to be around them than it is to be around the new ones because you don't know. You know how these motherfuckers smell, so you know how far to push them. You know, okay, with these motherfuckers, I ain't gonna have a good time, but I'm gonna have an alright time. But you know what? Because these are your enemies. You see what I'm saying? Your friends, you give passes on a lot of shit. You see what I'm saying? So with me, I keep my friend base small, and my enemy base usually develops because a lot of the people that are fake prove that they are fake, and there's no hard feelings. You just back away. It's like the game of Go. You don't create a ripple. You just move like water. You just move out the way. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I have one life to live, and I'm not wasting it trying to appease or anything like that. People get mad at you because you're too goddamn happy around this bitch. You walk around this motherfucker smiling too much, they're gonna say something. You walk around here, and it's not just here, it's anywhere. People think that's why I stopped talking about the town like that. You see what I'm saying? Because I could leave here and go anywhere, and the same shit will happen there too. You know, it's not. Haters are haters. You see what I'm saying? Like, this town, it just magnifies it because it's small town living. So we know how to adjust. Because at the end of the goddamn day, everybody know who the hating ass haters are. So that's the beauty of it. So me continuing with my journey here is more impactful because it lets them know these hating ass motherfuckers ain't shit.
You know, it's really funny, and I was talking to a friend tonight. He doesn't know that his only way to respond to what's going on, and he's not on board with anybody, but he's coming with hate.
It's a dynamic. It's a dynamic because hurt people, and hurt people sympathize with hurt people, and silence hurt is a lot of what is going on right now. Is a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening of epic proportion, and what we're doing is we're postponing the cataclysmic events that's coming forth. With all the files that's being restricted, with everything that's coming out, we're about to find out that the reasons why all of this byproduct shit is out on the streets that you want to call criminals is because high up in the sky, it was a normal damn thing to just do that to people all over the damn world. And that's what I believe they're holding back. I believe they're holding back the truth about how sex was used as a tool to control high-ranking people, to control entertainment moguls, corporate businessmen. They got it all in there. I believe that's what the files are. I believe them files are so fucking crazy that it will make a lot of nations that that are very powerful look stupid. It is so insane that we have the G7, right? Because the G7.
I like that case.
Thanks. He gave it to me.
I had one, but the springs went.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I tried to push it too hard. He had the G7, right? That's supposed to be the strongest 7 nations in the world, right? Well, you know, China, Russia, and I want to say North Korea, along with the BRICS.
Yeah.
The BRICS came out and is now more powerful than the G7 economically, you know. What does that put us at as a nation? It put us out of the power seat. You see how the nation we used to have 4-star rating. We lost that. When we lost that, look what happened to the fucking country.
So, Tim, to be continued.
Listen, because you know we can go all night.
All night, man. Yeah. I love you.
Listen,
good to see you.
Thank you always, man.
And good to hear you.
I know.
Yeah.
We'll talk
like
more.
I say, to be continued.
All day.
Yeah.
See you soon.
You will.
I'll introduce my friend Cortez. Come up and speak. Thanks, Cortez.
Good. Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I gotta say, I know it was, what was it, like 6 or 7 years ago? And one of the first conversations that Representative Chip Roy and I had to do with money in politics. I remember, and just in general. I think that this issue has brought so many of us across the political spectrum together because we are united by the value that people should feel that their elected representative puts them and their interests first.
Wait, I'll slow it down so that I don't go lose you. Let me explain gang stalking now before I confuse you. Gang stalkers are those who follow targeted individuals wherever they go so they can market you as the criminal. How, you ask? Well, they don't want you vocal. They want you arrested and silenced so they go and provoke you. They're being paid to do so, but really they fear you. That's why they follow from afar but never get near you. Just close enough where you can notice them. They're like the kid at the lion's cage with a stick always poking them. They want you to lash out or point the finger at you, and most of you fall for it, never thinking it through. It doesn't make sense. Why? If it were true, they would have killed you. Why haven't you died? You're probably going cuckoo. It sounds like a lie. Well, remember what I said about you vibrating high? When your frequency is vibrating higher than others, you possess hidden gifts that they don't want you to discover. That's why those without it don't seem to get it. It's easier to dismiss it and call you a schizophrenic. They feel good doing it to you. It's annoyance, but you can't really blame them because they have no importance. They help the enemy unknowingly without question, which furthermore keeps you in depression. But those gifts that you have come with protection from the Most High Council. That's why it's a blessing. That's why they haven't killed you. They can't even try it. Your gift is hiding in you. They don't want you to find it. And if you're in constant fear, you will never discover it. And so it feels like a punishment coming from your own government. There are rules to this game. They're allowed to follow, but they can't kill you, and that's a pride that they must swallow. If they can stop you from all of your accomplishments, they can prevent you from awakening Christ-like consciousness, which lives in you. It's not an external force. Stop looking for a savior because you are the source. Stop drinking, stop smoking so your energy can rise, although the V2K makes it impossible sometimes. V2K is voice-to-skull technology that's being used on you because you are the anomaly. It's a frequency weapon that's aimed at you constantly. They can't kill you but love hurting you with it, obviously. If others went through the torture that you endured, they would have committed suicide and failed, and that's a for sure. Facts. Now you see how important you are. Fuck celebrities for real, you're more important than stars. Once your pineal gland third eye is activated, you will be unstoppable, and trust me, they hate it. So they do anything they can to make you surrender, even turn you against your own family members, whom they have working for them, also known as a handler, to cough up information back to them on a platter. You're in constant scrutiny, even at your own job, which makes you fearful about overcoming these odds. But trust me, you'll win once you know who you are. The fight becomes fun once you know how to spar. And take what I say with a grain of salt, but bring the judgment to a halt. It's not the enemy's fault. If you was the devil and knew these angels were coming to destroy your agenda, you'd too be bugging. This was the mission you chose from the Most High, to go from the heaven skies to hell in a nosedive, to go through the refinery and all of its consequences. Once again, I repeat, the race Christ-like consciousness. It's you versus you, that's what I need you to get. Stop falling for these lame-ass traps that they set. They're mad you won't sell out, your soul has no price. So if
And I was like, no. Chris Brockington's your guy. And I was looking for Chris Brockington as a black guy. I was like, I didn't know Chris Brockington was the black guy. But
Only black guy.
he was the only black guy there. But the thing was awesome. Oh, shit, I lost my point. I'm drunk. Fuck, it was a good point. It's a goddamn good point.
All right, so you're talking about your ex and then the contracting father that makes restaurants, and then you're talking about the sous chefing that you're looking for, the guy that
Yeah.
the sole
Chris
black guy.
Okay, okay, I think I got the point.
Jog your memory out here.
Yeah, thank you. It was my best friend. My best friend is Joseph. He is half Cameroonian, half African American.
Okay.
So the entire time, I was like, oh, my best friend Joseph, fuck. You used to be an old school B-boy. You used to be a DJ. I kept talking about my fucking best friend Joseph, right? Mm-hmm. But I never mentioned that he was black.
You had to battle somebody. You said.
Well, I had to battle Chris Brockington for getting him respect. But my best friend, who is African American, half Cameroonian, with Chris Brockington, I was like, oh, my best friend Joseph. And then when he met him, he was like, oh, you a brother? Because at that point, because I made the mistake of assuming Chris Brockington was a white guy.